Hi, Foundation for Youth. Pilar here. So this is a rough cut movie of week 1 in Patagonia. There's so much to share. I did not have enough time to polish this little movie for you. Anyway, here we go. Say goodbye to the kitty. Patagonia is so far away, I traveled by car and plane and 7,000 miles and 32 hours to get to the southernmost part of Chile, a town called Puntas Arenas. Puntas Arenas is on the Strait of Magellan. It's an ancient shipping town full of beautiful birds and wildlife, like these here. They're called cormorants. The town is very friendly and colorful. And on the first day there, we just rested and explored the town and prepared to start our journey in Patagonia. On day 2, we got up bright and early, 5 a.m. as a matter of fact, to catch a boat to Magdalena Island, where we discovered Magellan penguins in their natural habitat. The penguins are so cute. They're very social. The little babies are the fuzzy ones. They love to socialize with each other, and they're quite humorous, and they make a lot of noise. They make little dugouts for their homes, and I like to call them apartamentos. I don't know if that's actually a Spanish word, but that's what I started calling them. That one there is a baby, and I thought it was really cute. We also saw lots of seagulls, and baby seagulls as well. The various kinds of birds seem to get along well together on Magdalena Island, and the people that work there are very protective of the birds and make sure that the people visiting don't bother them or hurt them in any way, shape, or form so that they can enjoy their natural habitat. Wally, Nancy, and I really enjoyed our time there. But after a while, we had to say goodbye to the penguins, get back on the ship, and then head to Puerto Natales, which was the town we were going to stay in the night before we entered Torres del Paine Park. On the way to Puerto Natales, we saw lots of little ostrich-type birds called rhea. When we arrived in Puerto Natales, we checked the weather forecast. It was important to know what the weather was going to be because we were about to backpack for 5.5 days on the W Trek in the national park on the Chilean side of Patagonia called Torres del Paine. Much to our chagrin, the forecast called for rain and snow. But that wasn't going to stop us. We were there to have fun and enjoy each other's company and see what Patagonia would bring.
Okay, this is what we got. Day 1 of the big hike. Uncle Wally's right up in the front. He's rocking it. You know, May not get that picture I wanted of the mountain, but I get the quality time with good people doing something like this, especially my uncle.
1% of the population's doing this, Laura.
I try, Wally.
1%.
This is for the kids. It's a video for the kids. Look back in these woods. They're called lengua, I think. Well, that's really it's a beech tree. We have a botanist on this trip with us, so that's helping us. He is right there. It's from Ithaca. Ken, right? Ken. And then this is my. Oh, it just turned off.
So it was snowing, but we were still having fun. And the important thing to remember is, without the snowy, raining days in Patagonia, you don't get the beautiful countryside. You don't get the lakes, you don't get the glaciers, you don't get to explore any of that. So you have to endure the snow. We ended the first day with this guy, a caracara, a special bird of prey in Patagonia. Day 2 of the W trek, things are looking up. We can actually see the mountain, that's where we were, and look at all that snow up there. Back there are the famous towers. We didn't get to see them up close because of the snow, but we got to see them on our second day. And we got to see these great valleys. And then we started to venture into the lake area of the W trek. And for the next several days, we would follow lakes that had multiple colors. Some were turquoise, some were cobalt blue, others would turn gray. And you'll get to see them throughout the remainder of this video. Another incredible feature of Patagonia is the clouds. They move really quickly and are almost always present over the mountain range. That's why the weather's so unpredictable in Patagonia, and you have to carry clothing for all weather types: snow, sun, rain, what have you. That man you see in the background, he is one of our guides, Victor. We had another guide named Edo, and a third one named Jahit that stayed with us all 2 weeks. They were all wonderful. So on we pressed on day 2, and we really enjoyed walking along the lakes. And we enjoyed not getting rained on. Every once in a while, we'd take a little break at a place called a refugio. We'd either sleep there or just get snacks. There's Edo and Victor being silly. And there's the horns in the background. We also stopped by the lake for a little bit of rest. And I'll tell you, it was really hard to get up. But we ultimately ended in these eco-domes and spent the night there. The next day was Camp Italia, Camp French, and Refugio Grey. You may remember that Wally and I made a little video for you on Facebook when we were at Camp Italia. After we made that video, we split up. Nancy and Wally decided to go to Refugio Grey while I went on with the rest of the group up to the French Glacier.
Hi, Foundations for Youth.
So here's the video of me and Wally, and a little video I made while walking through the French Valley, and then some more footage and pictures of the French Glacier.
Yes, over the first 2 days, and another hour or so today.
We hiked through wind, rain, snow, and sunshine.
Heard avalanches.
We just heard an avalanche. We thought it was thunder, and you can probably hear a big river behind us, which is a runoff from the French Glacier.
Majestic sights of mountains called the Horns. Sadly, some of the towers we didn't get to see, but we got to see snow and rain instead. Cloud cover kind of enveloped them, but boy, what beautiful waterfalls on the way up.
And most importantly, I'm having a fabulous time with my uncle.
And I'm having a fabulous time with Pilar, my niece.
Very glad. Okay, walking through the French Valley. We're gonna go over towards this big behemoth. which has an awesome glacier on it. And these are the horns over here. Pretty cool.
So after leaving Wally and Nancy, I took a path and climbed up, up, up with other members of the group. And we began to see this amazing glacier. One of our friends actually captured an avalanche on video. But first, check out this footage of a waterfall on the way up. Then you get to see the avalanche. Because Daria was shouting some words that maybe aren't appropriate for Foundation for Youth, I've put it on mute, but you can watch the avalanche fall down, and I'll put in a sound effect of thunder and you'll know what it sounded like. Enjoy. So that was amazing, and I wish I had been there to see it with her, but I did get some other footage myself that I thought was pretty phenomenal as well. These are the horns, and it really opened up and we could see the sky, and it was just a beautiful day up there on the French glacier. I also did another time lapse so you could watch the clouds and see how amazing they really are. It's not like anything I've ever seen, I don't think. It started to get cold up there, so we made our way down the French glacier and also saw amazing views of the lakes, or lagos as they are known in Chile, and lots of waterfalls. Back at Camp Italia, I spied this cara, my favorite bird on the trip, and then hiked a bunch more to another lago, which was cobalt blue, and then later met up with Wally at Refugio Gray for some much needed rest. Finally, after several hours of hiking against the wind, and after several miles, we made it to our first view of the Gray Glacier. And it really is stunning, and we were really excited to see it. Now, there's Jahid. He was our main guide throughout the trip. And these are just some other friends that were hiking with us along the way. Me and Nancy there. And there's the glacier. And later that day, we would be sea kayaking in front of that glacier. And those are icebergs in the water. They fall from the glacier and then float out into the lake. And again, you can actually drink this water. And there's another cara. Here we go on our sea kayak. And as we continued to paddle, our guides had us all linked together, and then they served us tea and chocolate in front of the glacier while the sun set. Next day we were back at it with these two guides, climbing up this trail of rock and dirt up to the glacier so that we could hike on the glacier. It was absolutely worth it and absolutely beautiful. I have to admit that photographs can't do the scenery justice. And when you walk up to a glacier and you see where water comes from, and that it is truly the source of life and everything that we know on this planet, you are amazed. And my friends, many of which were couples, were all in love and hugging each other and squeezing each other. It was pretty sweet to watch everybody as we explored the glacier. You can see we put crampons on our feet, and we started off hiking up the glacier, and you notice the bluish color. That's compressed ice. That means there's no oxygen inside, but it's just ice, like ice you get out of your refrigerator. The white ice, like snow, has more oxygen in it and therefore takes on a white color. The glacier went on for miles, and it was amazing to look at it up close and study all these little holes and listen to the water rippling underneath us as we walked on top of the glacier. Sometimes it didn't feel so safe, but I felt like we were in good hands. Our guides were very kind and gentle with us, and they trained us before we went up and walked on the glacier. But again, it just goes on and on for miles, and you really appreciate it when you get to see it. It was a truly stunning day. There were some parts on the glacier where we tied ourselves to a rope and leaned over so we could look in and see the various caves that had been carved out by the melting water. It was pretty fun and kind of scary and spooky. I felt like I was on another planet, as did Nancy and the other friends of ours that were in our group. This is me looking down at the water, and this is the whole group. Here we are walking off the glacier. And then I decided to take out my GoPro and just take random pictures of everybody as we walked off the glacier, because I felt like the hike up to the glacier was just as amazing as being on the glacier itself. All the ice and the snow and the water has made amazing carvings in the rock. In fact, the rock is so sharp. Actually, I put my hand down in one place and I cut myself. That's how sharp it was. I had to get a Band-Aid. I couldn't stop the bleeding. But it was really amazing and beautiful, and helped me to realize the true power of water. So that's all I've got for you so far, but I have a whole nother week of pictures and videos. And so I hope you'll have me back for part 2. Hasta pronto, as they say in Chile, which means see you soon.